I'm going to be talking to you today about the importance of self-awareness. Self-awareness is like the unsung hero of self-improvement and growth. And people that are very high growth people that tend to achieve lots of goals and heal quickly and move quickly past a lot of their own self-sabotage and obstacles are people that oftentimes have a natural self-awareness. Some people, personality-wise, are born with more self-awareness than others, and sometimes our own perceived need to kind of push down and bury some of our own pain causes us to kind of sabotage or shut down our self-awareness. So sometimes we would be self-aware people, but we're subconsciously trying to block things out or shut them down, and that causes us not to allow ourselves to be self-aware. Self-awareness is so important for growth. You can't heal something if you don't know what the wound is. You can't move past an obstacle or a block if you don't know what the obstacle is. And even when you're trying to go and get help, it makes you get so much more effective help if you're able to know what's going on inside of you and be able to take that to someone and say, here's what's going on, here's what I need help with, here are all of my thoughts and feelings around this. It creates a faster momentum and so much quicker growth for you when you can do that. So successful people truly are self-aware. Everything builds on that. It's kind of, I look at it like a bank account. You know, if you go for financial counseling, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere with any financial goals until you find out exactly where your finances are right now. And that's the first thing any financial coach is going to have you do is write down your budget, write down where your money is going. A lot of times they'll have you use like apps, that can actually look at like the percentages of money that are going certain places. They will have you write down your expenses, your debt situation, your income, and just kind of like all the facts where everything lies right now. And that's what self-awareness does for you on a mental and emotional level. Okay. So because self-awareness is so important and it's like the backbone of the precursor to growth and healing, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to make yourself more self-aware or increase your self-awareness. So the first one is you have to give yourself permission to feel your feelings and to hear your own thoughts. Like I said, a lot of the times people shut down their own self-awareness and they stop allowing themselves to hear their thoughts and feel their feelings. A lot of times there's fear very present, like I'm scared of letting myself see this thing or letting myself feel this thing. And if I do, what's going to happen? And am I going to tumble into a spiral of depression or whatever it is? The truth is that's never going to happen. Feeling your feelings is going to do nothing but set you free. It's going to do nothing but allow you to get unstuck and start moving forward. So give yourself permission, and you honestly have to do this verbally. Every morning, wake up and say, today, I give myself permission to feel and to feel my feelings and to hear my own thoughts. Wake up and give yourself that intention and give yourself permission. That will cause you to open up in so many ways that you didn't even remember that you could. So simply, I'm telling you right now, this is, if you walk away with one thing today, the power of speaking to yourself, of giving yourself permission to feel, to hear, to go certain places that you need to go that you're scared. When you feel yourself resisting things, you can literally talk to yourself out loud and give yourself permission to go there. That is such a powerful tool that you can apply in so many different situations, okay? It's important that this is a step number 1 because the other 2 tips for self-awareness are almost things that you're going to have less success doing unless you do this one first. So this is like the foundational. I really recommend starting here, just speaking out loud and giving yourself permission. With that said, when you do that, when you allow yourself to feel your feelings and hear your thoughts, there's a caveat with that, and that is you need to allow yourself to become aware of those things and not judge them. Okay, you need to become your own safe place. You can't expect other people to be a safe place for you, to be a cheerleader to you, to support you if you're not willing to do those things for yourself. And every time that you hear a negative thought go through your mind, or a fear, or you feel a negative emotion and you start judging yourself, that shouldn't be there. That's horrible. How could I think that? Oh my gosh, I'm such a terrible person. I'm so messed up because I'm thinking this. Every time you do those things, you are judging yourself so hard. And every time you do that, your brain's going to go, oh, I clearly can't trust you with the truth, so I'm not going to tell you anymore. Okay? You have got to become your own safe place. Make you a safe place to land for you. Okay? The more you do that, the more you're going to start, your brain's going to trust you, and you're going to start opening up to yourself. Okay? Our thoughts are nothing more than just output of beliefs that we have in our mind. And those things are all really neutral. And with that said, our feelings are just neurochemicals. They're just things that our brain produces based on beliefs that we have in our brain. There's nothing good or bad about those things. They just are. They're very neutral. It's just a fact. Like, you have a thought, a physical thought in your brain. It creates physical feelings, and it's just a fact that is, right? In this part of the process, don't worry about trying to decipher whether a thought is good or bad, or serving or not serving. Just look at it as like, almost like a scientist looking at a science experiment and going, well, that was an interesting result, and just taking down the data, right? That's all you're doing. You're just trying to become aware of what's going on. Don't judge it. Just appreciate it for the observation that it is, for the data that it is, that's going to help you to work through it and move forward. Okay? So don't judge it. Let it be there. Give yourself permission to feel it, and just like take it in as a fact of what's happening inside of you. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So step number 2 is doing self-awareness checks throughout your day. So for people that self-awareness isn't something that they're very used to, or is common for them, or something that's just automatic for them, you can actually train your brain to be very self-aware. And the way that you do that is by doing purposeful self-awareness checks. So one thing that I recommend is literally checking in with yourself multiple times a day. Okay. I really recommend, honestly, going very hardcore in the beginning with this. And I would recommend doing them every hour. Okay. It doesn't take long. All you have to do is just say, okay, sit still for a second in silence, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what am I thinking and what am I feeling? 2 very simple questions. What are the physical feelings that are going on in my body right now? What is my body feeling? Is my heart racing? Am I jittery? Am I feeling restless? Like, what are the physical feelings that are going on in my body? Then what does that show me are the emotional feelings that are going on in my body? Because our physical feelings are always an outflow of our emotional feelings. And then what are the thoughts that are connected to those feelings? Okay. Literally only has to take you about 5 minutes, and just write down whatever comes to you. Okay. Just write down anything that you find. Do it as many times as you can during the day in the beginning, until it becomes automatic, until you find yourself doing it without having to think about it. Okay. Once you do that, once it starts happening automatically, you know you've created a new neural pathway and a new habit in your brain. And it will actually happen faster than you would expect. Okay. So once an hour is definitely recommended. If you can't do that, maybe like 3 times a day, maybe like morning, afternoon, evening. And at the very, very least, you need to do it at least once every evening, but that's going to take longer to create the habit if it's not happening more consistently than once a day. Okay. All right. My second tip for creating self-awareness is to do thought downloads. I particularly recommend these when you're very triggered about something. In the moments where something sets you off, you're really upset, like emotionally charged about something. Someone says something and it feels so personal. You're so upset. You have to go vent to someone. You feel super hurt. Someone made you feel really demeaned. Like, it really, really just those moments where everything gets flared up. Okay. In those moments, you're going to sit down with a piece of paper, or you can type it up in a note on your phone or something like that if you don't have paper with you. And you're going to just write in a continuous stream of thought until you have nothing left to write down. What you want to do is let one thought build to the next thought, then to the next thought, and lead to the next thought and the next thought. that's very much how our brains are anyway. So if you just let that flow and don't try to stop it, that should come very easily. So, this person made me feel stupid and that makes me feel angry. And then when I feel angry, I do this, or, just kind of like let the thoughts sort of keep flowing one to the next. Okay. Follow that whole train down the track till it ends. Okay. Once you do that, you're going to have a huge amount of revelation as far as what's going on inside of you, the thought processes that you're having, the connections between different concepts in your brain, and also different potential even areas of your life where one thing's getting triggered, but then it's actually flowing into different areas, or it's showing up in different places. You'll be really surprised if you let that flow where you might start and where you might end up. That's like totally different. Okay. Again, it's a huge tool into helping you know what's going on so that you can eventually work yourself through it or go get help with it. Okay. Sometimes honestly, being aware of things and simply honoring what's going on inside of you and showing your brain like, hey, I hear you, I'm here for you. Sometimes that alone will settle. It will like calm the storm and sometimes give your brain the space to work yourself through something very fluidly. Okay. All right. So that is, I don't know if I said the right numbers, but that was step 3. The first step was simply allowing yourself to feel and hear what's going on. The second step was the self-awareness checks throughout the day. And then the third step was the thought download. All right. If you need to develop some self-awareness, and you know what, even if you're really good at it, sometimes we're good at it, but we kind of don't do it in a very organized fashion, and we lose what comes to us through the day because we're not writing down and recording it. So even if you're great at self-awareness, but you still want to become more, you want to retain the revelations that you're getting, still do these things because they'll really help you. Once you do these things, you can then move towards healing. Don't even worry about trying to replace thoughts when you're just letting stuff come up. If you do that, you're going to stop your brain. Your brain's going to go, all right, well, I guess you're not giving me the space to openly talk about stuff. You're just trying to tell me I need to change, and it's going to shut down. Okay, so don't try to replace thoughts. Don't try to get yourself to a happy place or a positive place during any of this. This isn't the time for that. This is the time to just let yourself speak to you, to let yourself be seen and heard. Okay. After that, then you can go take this to someone and get help. You can, try to work through it yourself. You can do, whatever you need to do. You can try to do some thought creation, go do some meditation, work yourself through the thought. However, whatever you need to do that after you do this is the time to do that. Okay. Is the time to try to work to a better place or heal or move forward. Okay. All right. I hope this helped you. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm here for you again. I'm happy to answer any of your questions in the future. Send me a message or leave them in the comments and I'll do a video for you. Have a great day.